So this is how I make insane emotional R&B melodies, just 2 chords. If you like this loop as well, it'll be available with the first link down in the description. We're gonna go in the scale of D minor, and so what I did here was a 1 and a 6 chord in the scale of D minor. Our 1 is gonna be our D, our 3 is gonna be our A. We're not gonna use this 2, which is E. I use the snap to scale feature right here. You turn this music note on and it won't let you play out of key. And all you do is just skip a white note, put in the other one, skip a white note, put in the other one. Very clutch. And we just did that, so there is 5 notes total. So this is our 1, skip the 2, hit the 3, skip the 4, place the 5, skip the 6, place the 7, skip the 8, place the 9. This is our D minor 9th chord. And basically I just took it, dragged it out, and I put it down too, just because this is a major chord and this is a minor chord. Major and minor chord, when you play it like that, correlation just sounds beautiful. When you have a major after a minor, also when you have a minor after a major, correlation just works very well. But I put it down too to our 6th instead of our 7th, because the 6th share these 4 notes. That also makes the transition very smooth. What I also did is I made these notes shorter to add some space in the chords. Space never hurts. Space also is like sauce. But yeah, that creates our D minor 9th chord, and then our G flat major 9th chord. I like having 9 chords just to make them sound more full. Another way that I make these chords sound full is I take these root notes and then I inverted them twice. Got 2 layers of bass notes, which are just our root notes. 2 layers instead of 1, just to make the chords sound more full. That's exactly how I do it. And then what I did here was I strummed them out. Control A and Alt S to strum the chords. And while I have them all highlighted, Alt R to randomize the velocities, make them more humid. Keyscape. And with this pad, texturize it with some pads. So this is even the 6 pad from Kavi's Melody Mastery Kit. Beautiful pad. What I did here is I copied the exact same chords from that progression, took out the bass notes, and I inverted the 3rd note from the top. That's all I did. Take 3rd note from the top, highlight it, Control, up. The same chord, but a different chord voicing. So it adds some variation to the whole progression. Different sounds, but still the same chord, so it just works very well together. But just add variation. Layered it with a 2nd pad. This is texture layers from Kavi's Elements of R&B Kit. So much flavor to that joint. Kind of did a similar thing. I just inverted the 2nd note from the top. Again, copied the same chords but took out the bass notes. Instead of highlighting the 3rd note from the top, highlighted the 2nd note from the top. And same thing, hit Control up, inverts it. Now it's a different chord voicing, but it's still the same chord. Just add some variation. And then I layered multiple melodies on this thing. So the first one was another Keyscape Softest piano preset. This one, so we started off with a chord of D minor. That is all this is. Like if I pull this right here, this is literally the chord that we had. All I did was I dragged it out, and our 2nd chord hit is right here. So I stopped at the 2nd chord hit, inverted it. That's all I did. Dragged out to the middle of the chord, boom. And then in the middle of this space, I did it again. Dragged out for the middle of this space right here, and I inverted it. Didn't want it to bleed into the 2nd chord hit, but that's all I did. This is called a chord sprinkle too. Sounds beautiful. That's all it is. Just the same chord, just inverted up, pushed a little out in the progression. And right here I do descending transition notes, because this, boom, it just transitions into the transitions well on the next chord. And the same as E. This E is actually the top note of this D minor chord, and the C is actually the top note of this 2nd chord right here. So playing around with some notes in the scale, you transition down, very clutch. Now I have a counter melody too. I love doing this with like counter melodies. I keep them very simple, repetitive, keep the pattern repeated 3 times, and then just change it slightly at the end. Works very well, simple but effective. Stacking simple stuff on top of each other. That's really all it is. And for the bass, so this one was the Lust and Love preset and Elements of R&B from Kavi. Beautiful sub bass. I went for that like Drake type subby bass for this. This is just copying the root notes and adding some transition notes. That's really all it is. But yeah, after that, I did took out the vocals in a section, took out this main piano progression melody, swapped it for just a different kind of melody. This is the Simple Tone lead one shot from Kavi's Melody Mastery Kit. Beautiful. I'll let y'all hear it. Beautiful. Again, repeating simple stuff, but just changing it. Yeah, I do have a vocal. This was actually a pedal phrase. Sound like a vocal, so I used it as my vocal for the loop. Do have a muzzled piano in this joint. What I did is I took this main progression and this main piano melody, just muzzled it. That's all I did. I'll show you how I did it, but I'll show you how I did it right now. I'll mix this thing. So this main piano progression. Have a hollow vintage verb at 40%. EQ taking out some lows at 150 and some low mids at 225. First pad. U on the 6th pad. I have a hollow vintage verb at 40%. And EQ taking out some lows at 150 and low mids at 225 again. And for this one, texture layers pad. Have a hollow vintage verb at 40%. And an EQ with the same lows and low mid cut. For our bass line, have a hollow vintage verb at 10%. And an EQ taking out barely any lows, some low mids, and rolling off some highs for our bass. And we'll go to the muzzled piano. To get that muzzled effect, we use Decimort with the MPC60 preset with a cut at 2.7 thousand hertz. So this just takes away all the frequencies above 2.7 thousand hertz. It's kind of like a low pass filter, except if you were to use a low pass EQ and then take out everything above 2.7 thousand hertz and then try to boost it, the frequencies can come back. So this just completely takes them away. So if I were to boost the frequencies above this and try to, nothing would happen. So it's a little different like that. They call it a big crusher. On top of that, added Fruity Reverb 2 with 25%, mixing the wet knob. Added EQ with the same low and low mid cut, but boosting some highs. And then this EQ is for leveling. And for this melody, 4-section melody, added some high-end cutoff with this Fruity Delay 3. So what you do is turn this time knob all the way down, level knob all the way down, dry knob all the way down. And that's what this cut off. You feel me? Yeah, adds kind of like a low pass filter, but it adds a little more distortion. Pretty reverb at 50% mix, and an EQ taking out some lows and low mids, but taking out some highs pretty aggressively. And then we have our vocal. So with this one, we have the Magnitude Transition 2 preset, an RC20. I have it set at 25% mix in my effect rack, so no shaper box or Decimort. Hollow vintage verb, 35% mix. H delay, waves H delay at half bar and ping pong mode turned on. Free EQ2 with a low cut, 200 hertz, low mid cut, and boosting some highs. For this B section, I bounced that to audio, so all those effects on it, and I pitched it up as well. Added some more effects, the same MPC60 preset in Decimort, with a cut at 11,000 hertz this time. For hollow vintage verb at 20%, and then EQ taking some lows, low mids, and boosting some highs again. And I added a drowned out version of the vocal. The same vocal right here, bounced out to audio with all the effects already on it. And I added Decimort MPC60 preset, but this is a more aggressive cut at 3,500 hertz. For hollow vintage verb at 30%, waves H delay, so half bar ping pong mode turned on, but this one's 100% mixed in my effect rack. Shaper box, this is what gives it that like pulsating sound. Messing with the volume, sidechain 1 preset, set at half a bar. EQ taking out some lows, a lot of low mids, and boosting some highs. And this EQ is just for leveling. Cool. I'll show you how I'll make this joint sound good too, how I arrange it. First section, main piano, both melodies, both pads, and main vocal. B section, we have our muzzled piano, okay, both pads, added a bass line, added a perk loop, added the high-pitched vocal. Third section, we took out the vocal, kept the perk loop and bass line and both pads, took out the piano and main piano melody, swapped it for just a different kind of melody. Just add some variation. The fourth section brought back the muzzled piano and took out the bass and added the drowned out vocal. For the fifth section, we brought back the original piano and both original melodies. Brought back the bass, took out the pads, took out the background noise too, and took out the vocals. Kept it pretty bare bones. And yeah, for the second and third section, had the perk loop, had the background noise in every section except for the fifth one. And yeah, start every 8 bars with a chimes. Has some ear candy going in the beginning and the very end of every section. But yeah, that is everything. I'll let y'all see this loop now fully. That's saucy. But yeah, that's how I make insane emotional R&B melodies with just 2 chords. And if you like this loop, again, it'll be available with the first link in the description. Make sure to hit that subscribe button too if you like this video. Appreciate y'all for rocking me in this video. I will see y'all in the next one. Much love.